Good morning. It is Thursday. It's 9 o'clock, so here I am on my step. Look at this sunshine. We are so lucky today in Devon. Who's going to join me this morning? Now, it's day four. Day four. Slight change to the title. It's day 4 of Ditching the Muffin Tops. Okay. Oh, good morning, Margaret. How are you? Lovely to see you. I've been out for my walk. I went for a shorter walk this morning. I took the two big dogs even, and went round the Millennium Green. It was absolutely beautiful. It was quite frosty in shady parts, but it was absolutely beautiful. So I've had a little dose of outside already today. Good morning, Karen. Good to see you. So I just wait for a couple more people to join us. And the subject for day 4 is water. We're talking about water today, why you need it, why you should drink it, and how you can feel the best ever. Oh, who else is there? Give us a wave. It's lovely. Oh, the numbers are going up. Come on. Oh, Dawn's there. Good morning, Dawn. So it's 9 o'clock now. So some of you will have done the school run. Some of you will still be in your pyjamas. I'm dressed. Okay. So let's make a start. Good morning, good morning. So yesterday we talked about fats. We talked about fats yesterday, and that was very interesting. That focused my mind quite a bit for thinking for myself, what do I eat? And I probably don't have enough polyunsaturated fat when I look at what's in it. So I'm going to have to work on that a bit. A few more nuts and seeds, a bit of avocado for me, and also somehow oily fish. I'm liking the idea of loose fish cakes. That's an idea. I think it's the really strong fish flavour that I don't like, or I'm not used to eating. So I'm going to need to work on that. Otherwise, Andy tells me he takes a supplement. I don't do supplements really, but that could be something I could think of for the future. Okay, fluids and water. We're talking water today. Okay, so do you reckon you drink enough of it? And do you know why you need plenty of it? Okay, so every cell in your body needs water. It needs fluid. Whether or not it's your joints, your bones, your muscles, your spinal cord, your brain, it all needs water. It needs to be kept well hydrated. Because obviously fluid in your body, water is important for flushing out waste, regulating body temperature, helping your brain work, and protecting our tissues, our spinal cord and our joints. Good morning, Lou. I was just saying, can't wait to eat your fish cakes. That might be one way I'm going to get some oily fish into me. So water is needed in every part of our body and every system we have. Okay, I'm sure you might have felt the effects of being dehydrated, not having enough water on board. It can be things like a thumping headache, you get constipated, urinary tract infections, you can get muddled and confused, particularly older people. Although, some days, but joking apart, older people, if they don't drink enough, they are much more prone to getting UTIs, urinary tract infections, and getting muddled and confused. Okay, so it's really, really important that we have enough fluid on board and that our body remains well hydrated. It's important that we don't wait until we're thirsty to drink, okay, because if you're waiting till you're thirsty, then you're probably well on the way to being dehydrated. Any ideas? I want you to tap in. How much fluid should you, not anybody else, but how much fluid should you be drinking in a day? Give us your answers. Now, while you're tapping, I've done some measuring, okay? So this is one of my favourite mugs. It's just a very normal mug, okay? I measured it, and I know, I do preparation for these talks, So look, that's a mug, and I measured it. That is half a pint. Good morning, Alison. That's half a pint filled up to an inch from the top, or about 2 centimetres if you're metric, okay? So that's half a pint. And how much fluid do you think you need? Okay. Karen's going 2 litres. Okay. Anyone else? Any other feedback, Karen? That is a good suggestion. Okay. So I'm talking about what do you need? Okay. I will give an average, but I do want to personalise this too. Okay. So Lou's saying 2.5 litres plus tea and coffee, okay? All right, that's a good suggestion. Anyone else? Doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, stick us your answer down. Fluid. So, you can tell even in your skin, can't you, when you don't drink enough? Your skin can be dry and you're just not going to feel as good. And you're going to feel much more stiff and achy. So there's loads of reasons to drink plenty. Okay, so as we've mentioned before, the amount you drink... Hello, Louise! Hello! The amount you drink is going to depend on your shape and size. Dawn's saying 2.5 litres. Okay, brilliant. Good morning, Lorna. Lorna, we're talking water. Okay, 8 glasses of fluid a day is what Alison is saying. Okay, so the answer is it depends on your size. Okay, so let's talk averages. There is no average, but on average, women, okay, need 2 litres of fluid a day at least. Now, 2 litres, if you're wondering, is 7 of those because a litre of water is 1.75 pints. That's about the only measurement thing I ever remember. So 2 litres is 7 mugs. Okay, and we're talking those mugs filled to 1 inch from the top because I've just measured it. So women, average size woman, whatever that is, they say needs 2 litres of fluid a day, and men more like 3 litres. But it depends on your shape and size. If you are lucky enough to be a 6-foot lady, you're going to need more than a 4'10" man. Okay, it depends on your height, your weight. Okay, but on average, we're talking 2 litres of fluid. Now, the more you can get of that fluid from water, the better. We don't really need to flavour every drink we ever drink with sugar and caffeine, okay? Some people do, but if you can drink as much just plain water, I like it boiling. I drink boiling water. I know nobody else in the world does, but I really like that. I don't like fruit teas. I don't like herb teas. I like boiling water. You can put decaf, you can put lovely fruit teas in your boiling water if you like. You can drink tea and coffee, but beware of the caffeine. So as we've talked before, caffeine can have quite an effect on your body, affect your bones, it can affect your heart. So you need to be drinking caffeine in moderation. The less caffeine, the better. You could consider decaf drinks. Obviously, if you're drinking sports drinks, okay, you need to be aware of the caffeine and the sugar and also the additives. Additives are up to you, but the more water you can drink, the better, all right? Now, I had a few tips down here. Do bear in mind that obviously your fluid intake requirements is going to depend on the weather. If you're really hot, if you're really sweaty because you've done a workout, just march to the top of Snowdon, for example. I mean, you're not going to in your 1 hour of exercise, but, we won't go there for now. So obviously your fluid requirements from day to day is going to vary, but on average, women need about 2 litres and men nearer 3. So how can you do that? So we've got some tips here. Take water out with you. So if you're going out for your walk, go out for your exercise, or going on a journey, take water with you, fluids with you, so that you don't have to go hours without a drink. You could track your intake. So you might choose to have a large bottle in the fridge of water, and you might think, I want to get through this by lunchtime or by after lunch or whatever. So just keep an eye on how much you think you're drinking to make sure you're getting enough. Pace yourself and drink the fluid throughout the day. Good morning, Karen. Drink the water throughout the day. Don't just wait. Don't get to 5 o'clock and think, do you know what? I've not drunk anything all day. When I've been busy, doing other jobs at home, so much easier for me to drink because the kettle is never more than 2 meters away. My house isn't very big. But when I was out working, I could go ages without drinking, 3-4 hours. And considering I'm meant to be drinking at least 7 mugs of fluid a day, that's 2 litres for me as a woman, I wasn't drinking that. And so you need to spread your fluid out throughout the day, but stop drinking about an hour before going to bed. Okay, otherwise you'll be up all night weeing. Okay, so those are a few tips. And obviously, some people like you can flavour your water. It doesn't have to just be plain water, but don't rely on sugar and caffeine for the reason to drink. Try and get a liking for water. Some people put slices of fruit in it, and they have one of those drinks containers and they put their fruit in it. That's fine. This is all very personal stuff. You're thinking, why has this got anything to do with reducing my muffin tops, Emma? Do you know why? It's because when you're drinking regularly, it takes the edge off your appetite. And if you can drink, I've definitely felt less hungry over the last few weeks when I've been drinking more fluids. So it will take the edge off your appetite. And at meal times, if you have a small drink of water before your meals, you're not going to eat as much at the meal. So it's going to affect your appetite. It makes your skin feel better, and it just makes you feel better. So it's going to affect your mood. You're going to feel better. Okay, so water is today's subject. Fluid in general, at least 2 litres a day, but more in hot weather, more if you're very active, more if you're bigger. Okay, if some of you are looking after older relatives, I know that some of you definitely are, they're still staying, do be aware that obviously older adults, I'm talking, I'm in my head, I'm thinking 80s, 90s. Good morning, Sharon. 70s, 80s, 90s. Now, they obviously, if they're smaller in stature, which often they are, their fluid intake, they are not going to need between 2 and 3 litres of fluid a day. Look it up online. Okay, it's about your fluid intake is determined by your weight. So if you're looking after someone who's kind of like 5'1" and weighs 8 stone, they're never going to need the same as someone who weighs twice that weight, for example. So, but they do need to be well hydrated, so little and often for older people, okay, because they are much more prone to urine infections and constipation and stuff, as much as we are, but they often are very, they're less keen to drink. I've worked and nursed older people, and trying to get them to drink, little and often is the way to go. And don't forget, there's water in food that we eat. They on the stuff I was looking online, they were saying 20% of our fluid intake comes from food. It depends. Are you eating things like cucumber and watermelon? That sort of stuff's obviously high in water. But conversely, are you eating lots of dried fruit? That's very dried. That's going to soak up lots of fluid. So keep your food choices varied and interesting. But if you're struggling to get an older person to drink, keep small portions, little and often. And things like strawberries have got water in, cucumbers got water in, melon, all that sort of stuff. And some people like to eat jelly. Jelly is a really good way of getting people to increase their fluid intake, because of course when you make a jelly, always call it an Ellie jelly in my house, I don't know why. When you're making an Ellie jelly, you're using a pint of fluid, so that can be a really good way of getting people to increase their fluid intake if it's a worry. So I hope you have a fantastic Thursday. I've got a busy one planned. I've got phone calls now. Then I've got Keep Moving, which is our seated session at 10:30, Hogs at 11:30, and Cardio Fitness at 6:30. So I hope you can join me for some of that. Now let me see. Sharon says, my mum, who's 81, refuses to drink water in any amount. Well, that's fine. Sharon, your mother is right. She has water in her tea. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so could she try decaf tea? Would she taste any different? I don't know. This is very personal. If your mum, Sharon, will only drink fluid, will only drink tea, at 81, I would say my mum at 88 doesn't drink probably much water on its own, but as long as she's drinking other things, as long as she's drinking food with water, eating food with water in, and obviously urine needs to just be straw coloured. If it's very dark, if it's very smelly, that's a sign of it being too concentrated, and people need to drink more. So and also your skin can be an indicator of your level of hydration. So I think we don't want to be too pressured on very older people, because they can really stick their heels in. But it may well be that your mum might like to try some jelly, Sharon. That would get a pint in. Absolutely. Yeah, no, she will not change now. So I leave it to her. Yeah. Okay. You can only prompt and encourage. It's the same for all of us, isn't it? Nobody wants to be told what to do. trying to keep some of our older relatives in during this lockdown has been tricky for me and many of my members. So, we can only support them and encourage them. But no, downright telling someone what to do, they're not going to listen, are they? Okay. Yeah, Dawn, you need to listen to your back and do what is sensible for you. Okay, so that's me done for today. I hope that's been thought-provoking. Are you drinking enough water? Are you drinking enough fluid? Check what you're drinking. Drink it throughout the day. Absolutely, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But at least have the fluid available. Yeah, I mean, have a drink within reach, that sort of thing. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's taking me back to my geriatric nursing days. Do you know what? I love old people. I really do. We used to have a blast. Good morning, Tracy. Okay, so I'm closing now, but you can watch this. I'm going to post it. Yeah, Tracy found me. Yay. I've just finished now, Tracy, but I'm going to put it, I'll post this live and you can watch it from the start. Anyway, fantastic to get your feedback, everyone. Keep drinking. See you soon.